That evening, at Poirot's request, I went over to his house after dinner. Caroline saw me depart with visible reluctance. I think she would have liked to have accompanied me. Poirot greeted me hospitably. He had placed a bottle of Irish whiskey on a small table. He himself was engaged in brewing hot chocolate.
"Ah, my friend, come in, come in. You permit that I continue with my chocolate? It is a favorite beverage of mine."
He inquired politely after my sister. "I'm afraid you've been giving her a swelled head. What about Sunday afternoon?"
I always like to employ the expert. Your sister, she has a great deal of valuable information.
Such as?
Why not have told me the truth? In a place like this, all Ralph Patton's doings were bound to be known. If your sister had not happened to pass through the wood, somebody else would have done so.
I suppose they would. What about this interest of yours in my patients?
Only one of them, Doctor. Only one of them. I find Miss Russell a study of the most interesting. Les femmes, they are marvelous. They invent haphazard, and by miracle, they are right. Women observe subconsciously 1,000 little details without knowing they are doing so. Their subconscious mind adds these things together, and they call the result intuition. I know these things.
I wish you'd tell me what you really think of it all.
So I give you then a little lecture. The first thing is to get a clear history of what happened that evening, always bearing in mind that the person who speaks may be lying.
Rather a suspicious attitude.
But necessary, I assure you, necessary. Now first, you leave the house at 10 minutes to 9. Parker confirms this. At 9 o'clock, you run into the mysterious stranger. I know he was not a hallucination because the maid of a Miss Gannett also met him. We can be sure he was a stranger and that his visit was not secret, since he twice asked the way. Now, I have found out more. At the Three Boars, the barmaid says he spoke with an American accent and had just come over from the States. Did you notice an American accent?
Yes, I think he had, but a very slight one.
Précisément. There is also this, which I picked up in the summer house.
He held out the little quill.
Yes, heroin snow. Drug takers carry it like this and sniff it up the nose.
Diamorphine hydrochloride.
This method is very common on the other side, another proof that the man came from Canada or the States. I searched the summer house because it was a convenient place for a rendezvous. I found 2 clues, the scrap of cambric and the quill.
And the scrap of cambric.
You do not use your little gray cells. The scrap of starched cambric should be obvious.
This man went to the summer house to meet somebody. Who was that somebody?
Exactly the question. You will remember that Mrs. Ackroyd and her daughter came over from Canada to live here. Now, another point. What did you think of the parlor maid's story of her dismissal?
You bewilder me.
To me, it grows clearer. But tell me now your own ideas and theories.
I just scribbled down a few suggestions. Point 1. Ackroyd was heard talking to someone at 9030. Point 2. Ralph Patton must have come in through the window, as shown by his shoe prints. Point 3. Ackroyd was nervous and would only have admitted someone he knew. Point 4. The person with him was asking for money, and we know Ralph was in a scrape. These 4 points show the person was Ralph Patton. But Ackroyd was alive at 9:45, so it was not Ralph who killed him. Ralph left the window open. Afterwards, the murderer came in that way.
And who was the murderer?
The American stranger. He may have been in league with Parker, who may be the blackmailer. Parker heard the game was up, told his accomplice, and the stranger did the crime with the dagger Parker gave him.
It is a theory that, but it leaves a good deal unaccounted for. The telephone call, the pushed-out chair, the missing 40 pounds.
Given by Ackroyd to Ralph. He may have reconsidered his refusal.
But we must not lose sight of one thing.
I know what you're going to say. Motive. Ralph Payton inherits a great fortune.
That is one motive. May AAAAEC. Do you realize that there are 3 separate motives staring us in the face? Somebody stole the blue envelope. That is one motive. Blackmail. Then there is the fact that he was in some scrape. And finally, there is the one you have just mentioned, the inheritance.
Dear me, the case does seem black against him.
Does it? That is where we disagree, you and I. 3 motives. It is almost too much. I am inclined to believe that, after all, Ralph Patten is innocent,